He walked into the vault at dawn, not to check his fortune, but to bury a secret. Inside those marble walls lay a confession worth more than the billions stacked beneath his name. For decades, Vincent Harrow was Wall Street's ghost, a man who appeared only in signatures, not photographs. But in the final hours before his empire crumbled, he left behind a voice recording no one was meant to hear. That recording surfaced 3 years later in an encrypted drive found inside an abandoned safe house in Zurich. What it revealed was not just financial corruption, but a moral collapse so precise it looked engineered. It began, as most tragedies do, with ambition dressed as virtue. Harrow built his first fortune helping governments hide theirs. Every deal, every favor. A silent handshake beneath a marble ceiling. By 2008, his private equity firm, Harrow Dominion, managed nearly $400 billion in global assets. On paper, he was a savior. In truth, he was rewriting the concept of ownership itself. Behind closed doors, Harrow's board meetings were rituals. 7 men, 1 unmarked room, and a single rule: loyalty above legality. Those who broke it didn't vanish immediately. They decayed, piece by piece. In his confession, Harrow described it as a family of numbers, not names. Each partner was assigned a code, and those codes were carved into the marble floor of his New York vault. He said the carvings were reminders of those who survived the first collapse. Investigators later discovered each engraving matched a death certificate filed within 72 hours of a major market crash. Who were they? Brokers, bankers, or believers? The deeper analysts dug, the more the line between finance and faith began to blur. That's when the vault theory emerged, a belief that Harrow's empire wasn't a company at all, but a cult of preservation. Its followers didn't worship money, they worshipped its disappearance. The confession detailed an event he called the transaction, a ritual exchange where power was transferred through symbolic loss. Billions vanished, only to reappear offshore under new names. Every transaction, Harrow claimed, required a sacrifice, not of wealth, but of loyalty. Once a partner signed, their personal history was erased from every record. Officially dead, spiritually owned. In 2014, a whistleblower named Ava Caro escaped Harrow Dominion with encrypted files. Within weeks, she was found in Venice, drowned, her lungs filled with salt water and shredded banknotes. The Italian police called it an accident. Interpol didn't. In one recovered message she'd written, "He doesn't kill for silence, he kills for purity." And by then, Harrow had already disappeared. His last known sighting was in Dubai, entering a vault carved directly into desert stone, beneath a private villa that no longer exists on maps. That vault, according to leaked architectural plans, was modeled after an ancient Roman mausoleum. Every inch of its design mimicked the tombs of forgotten emperors. Inside, Harrow's confession continued. "I built my legacy like a sarcophagus, sealed, sacred, and meant to be forgotten." But what was he confessing to? Theft? Murder? Or something far more elusive? The manipulation of truth itself. Analysts studying his tone noticed a pattern. Every mention of trust coincided with financial transfers exceeding $50 million. It wasn't guilt, it was encryption. Harrow was hiding messages within his own remorse. His confession wasn't a surrender, it was a code. When decoded, the transcript revealed coordinates, 23 in total, each linked to offshore accounts worth more than the GDP of small nations. But one coordinate stood out: 41.8902 degrees north, 12.4922 degrees east. The Colosseum. Historians were stunned. What could an ancient arena have to do with modern corruption? 3 months later, a drone captured something extraordinary. Deep within the Colosseum's underground vaults, a modern safe, marked HD-01. Its existence was officially denied when an anonymous source leaked internal Vatican memos referencing the Harrow deposit. The theory turned into hysteria. The world's richest man had buried his fortune beneath the heart of Rome. Investigators weren't the only ones searching. Rival billionaires began sending private teams into Italy under archaeological permits. The marble vault had become myth. Meanwhile, Harrow's voice, calm, articulate, unnervingly peaceful, whispered through every recording. We built heaven from death and called it order. Each sentence felt rehearsed like a sermon. Listeners described the tone as tranquil terror. One FBI analyst compared it to a hostage who didn't know they were free. Who was Harrow speaking to? His partners, the world, or the vault itself? The marble crypt he believed could cleanse 1 billion sins. In 2017, a reporter named Felix Rains claimed he'd met Harrow in Tangier. He described him as older, quieter, and dressed entirely in white linen. He didn't want forgiveness, Felix said. He wanted witnesses. Felix vanished 2 weeks later. His hotel room was untouched, except for one item left on the bed, a marble chip engraved with the letter V. Interpol reopened the case. Digital forensics traced a single encrypted transmission sent from Felix's laptop 5 seconds before his disappearance. The file name, vault_beneath_truth.mp3. The file has never been recovered, but data fragments indicate it contained a final confession. Harrow's last message to the world. Analysts pieced together his closing words from metadata. When the vault opens, history resets. The meaning? Still debated before. Even empires of stone crumble into dust. Either way, Harrow's disappearance triggered one of the largest asset seizures in history. Over $620 billion traced to 147 shell companies, and yet $93 billion remains missing. No accounts, no records, no trace. As if the money simply evaporated. Or worse, as if it's still moving, circulating like a silent bloodstream beneath the financial system. Every few years, strange anomalies appear. Dormant accounts reactivated for exactly 3 days, then vanish again. Each time under the same digital signature, MHV01. Experts argue over what it means. Some call it a ghost protocol, others divine punishment. But Ava Carroll once said, "The vault isn't a place, it's a pulse." That pulse still echoes today. Whenever a market crashes and mysteriously recovers, analysts whisper one name. His legacy isn't a company or a crime. It's a question. How much truth can survive inside a vault built to contain it? New evidence suggests the confession wasn't just recorded. It was distributed, hidden across servers disguised as luxury brands and charity foundations, meaning the real confession might be hiding in plain sight. In every donation, every acquisition, every anonymous contribution tied to Harrow's vanished partners. If that's true, then every click, every purchase, every investment we make might be feeding a machine he designed to never die. A machine powered by guilt, loyalty, and the illusion of control. A cult disguised as capitalism. And somewhere, beneath all that marble, his voice still plays, repeating the words he couldn't delete. To own something truly, you must first destroy it. It's the most chilling philosophy ever uttered by a financier, and the most accurate reflection of the modern world, because in the end, Harrow didn't vanish. He multiplied. Every anonymous fund, every offshore ghost account carries his signature. We live inside his confession now. Every market crash, every rebound, every miracle of recovery, it's all part of the vault's rhythm. The question isn't whether the vault exists, it's whether we ever left it. And when the next collapse comes, when trust itself begins to crack, perhaps the vault won't need to open at all. Maybe it already has. What if every bank, every contract, every screen of data is just another marble wall, polished, cold, and waiting for our reflection? And if Harrow's final message was true, when the vault opens, history resets, then maybe, just maybe, we're already living in the second version.